Hey Eurovision fans, it's Tom Conti from Shanghai. I'm back for another Eurovision reaction video. Tonight I'm going to be reacting to Llámame by WRS. He's representing Romania in Eurovision 2022. I'm going to listen and react to the national final performance and see how this could do in Turin. So, let's kiki. As always, you can use the progress bar if you want to skip straight to my reaction. It's usually after around 3 minutes. But first of all, I'll give my usual intro to Romania. What the hell has happened to Romania? They used to be absolute and utter Eurovision juggernauts. They qualified 8 times in a... No, they didn't. They qualified 9 times in a row. And if Oviedo Anton had been allowed to go in 2016, that would have qualified as well. So it would have been 10. But for some reason, their fortunes have completely changed. And they've had 3 non-qualifications in a row. Now, the first one, The Humans, I thought that song was a little bit weak. But the second year, Esther Pini, I absolutely love that song. It was one of my favorites here. I know a lot of people weren't as warm to it as I was, but that was, I think it was my number 3 in that year. And then last year we had Roxanne, my God, that was my number 2. But the staging decisions were absolutely utterly appalling. I was pretty disgusted to see, correct me if I'm wrong, but their head of the delegation blaming Roxanne for her being like quite young and an amateur performer, something like that. That's what I heard. Again, if I'm wrong, please correct me. But I thought that they just made some absolutely horrible staging decisions. They gave her a staging that had her running all over the place when she clearly wasn't capable for it in terms of her breathing capacity. I don't know why they didn't change the staging when they realized that she wasn't able to handle it. Instead, they just kept on like forcing her to the staging that she was clearly not able to. The whole thing was really, really sad and upsetting. It was a fantastic song. I am aware of the fact that after that, they had like a talk show where they're like, okay, what do we need to do? Which I think is progress. Somehow the end result is they have this gigantic national final with 50 or so people. I didn't cover it this year. That is just way too many contestants for me to cover in the national final. So I was a little disappointed I couldn't cover it this year. Also, I didn't really hear a lot of rumblings about it on the internet that it was getting a very good reception. The other thing I was a little bit concerned about is that the producers who worked with Roxanne in her 2020 when she had those 5 fantastic songs, and then also with Amnesia, which we know with Vicky Red, who was one of the producers, there were 4 or 5 different producers that came up with those 5 songs in 2020. I couldn't see any of them in the lineup. I was one of the first things I looked out for, said, okay, which songs has Vicky Red produced? I also looked out for the producers who did Cherry Red, which was Sebastian Barak and Marcel Bodazan, and they hadn't produced any songs either this year, so I was a little bit like not seeing them in their national final in 2022. I find really, really disappointing. I'm not sure what happened there. The song that was selected was by WRS. It's called Llámame. I'm guessing the song has some Spanish elements into it, and that Llámame is Spanish. It is. It's English and Spanish. What do I know about MRS? Absolutely nothing. I really know nothing about this. I've just seen from the thumbnail that it looks like it's going to be a bop, and I'm imagining there's some Spanish influence in it. Please be good. Want to know my secret bang? Please be good. Please be good. Please be good. Please be good. It can happen now. Like with Esther Pini. Everyone hated that and I liked it. It can happen. Come on. Okay. Interpretive dancing. That's okay. Ooh. Okay, we've got some beautiful Jamala-esque visuals at the start. Some electronic in the background. Oh. Okay, we're getting kind of electronic bop. I'm liking this so far. Now, recognize any writers? No. Okay. Ole, my baby. Okay, it's fine. It sounds like a kind of semi-solid bop. It being in Spanish, I have to admit, is a little bit unusual. Okay, that's actually got quite a nice Spanish influenced instrumental coming in. He's really going heavy on the bull rider flamenco style dancing. I'm liking so far. It does seem unusual because it looks like Spain's entry, not Romania's entry. I think this is going to be another one of the songs that I like that no one else does. I don't mind this so far. And it sounds okay, because these upbeat songs are kind of hard to sing live. I might listen to the studio version afterwards. Staging is pretty simple. They look pretty well choreographed. It's just a nice thumpy, boppy, upbeat, switch your brain off, like totally switch your brain off But there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes I want to switch my brain off. The beat does have a slight Eastern feel to it, like former Soviet. And he's very confident. I like his kind of quite sassy, confident style. Okay, we're getting a real Spanish breakdown. Like, really, the staging is nothing to write home about. It's just some dancing with flames. It's got a nostalgic 90s feel to it. I'm enjoying it. It's nothing wow, but I'm enjoying it. This is the strongest part for me. This kind of like nice instrumental where they all kind of look like they're drunk dancing together. Ooh, I like that. Okay. Yeah, what do I feel about that? I actually thought it was decent. I was expecting something much, much worse because I have seen a little bit of shade being thrown towards this song. First of all, it does seem to have like quite a strong, distinct Spanish feel, and it does feel a little bit confusing because it looks like a Spanish entry, really. It looks like it would be very much a part of Benidorm Fest. So that is a little bit, there's nothing wrong with that. It's maybe a little bit confusing, but I suppose why not put a song in Spanish? Like, why is it okay to put it in English but not put it in Spanish? I suppose, yeah, that's a pretty fair argument. I suppose it's just more common that people will choose, if they're not going to choose their own language, they'll choose English, but that's not a law. Like, it's solid, it's a bop, there's nothing groundbreaking in it. It's pretty standard Eurovision bop that I think I would have thought Eurovision fans would quite gravitate towards, especially since we don't have like a gigantic amount of bops this year. I like his performance style. He's a little bit kind of, and not androgynous, but he's quite flamboyant, which I enjoy. I like that he was dancing with the guys in some of it. Really, the staging was pretty simple. It was just him with 4 pretty competent looking dancers giving us a little bit of like flamenco and clapping and some kind of more stereotypical Spanish dancing styles. But, you know, with some flames, with some Spanish words in the background. Yeah, like, I enjoyed it though. I found it pretty easy to sit through. You know, I wasn't like looking how much time was left. I like those instrumentals. He has the kind of chorus with the lyrics and then it goes into a small instrumental while they're dancing. I thought it was kind of fun. Let's go in for my second listen. I'm going to listen to the studio version this time and let's see if there's more flourishes that I can pick out. Okay, I quite like this. I don't know why I feel guilty for liking it. Maybe it is a guilty pleasure. It sounds like a summer hit from maybe the late 90s, but in Italy and Spain. I don't know, I really like this instrumental after the chorus. He's doing a little bit of that kind of like beckoning wail, which I really enjoy. I wish it was a little bit more prominent. Yeah, it feels like a nostalgic bop from maybe a couple of generations ago. I suppose it's possibly a bit dated. I don't know, but then you could say all the 70s, 80s songs are dated, really. Possibly a little bit samey coming into the second verse. One thing I'll say is with the live performance, I didn't notice the sameness as much because there was a lot of movement, there was a lot of stuff happening, so I was distracted away from that sameness. I need more of that background vocal support that he gives in the instrumental. I really like that. I like it. It's got like a summery feel. It just feels light. It possibly a little bit backgroundy. I don't think I'm going to search out for this, but I'm not going to skip it when it comes on my playlist either. Especially when I'm like in the gym or I like feel like I need a little bit of energy or a little bit of a pick-me-up. Yeah, I enjoy that. Look, I don't think it's groundbreaking and I don't think it's super wow. I think it's solid. I think it's a solid, nice Eurobop. I feel like you know what you're getting pretty upfront and you kind of are either going to like it or not so much like it, or... And I don't want to say that like it's got no depth to it. Not everything has to be like an existential crisis, like incredibly. There's nothing wrong with having something that's real, like chill, relax, slightly meaningless lyrics, just some nice upbeat beats. That is also has a place as well. But yeah, I could see why some people would probably think this is like possibly a little bit vapid. If you ask me, is this really, really strong? No, it's not a particularly strong entry. I think it's decent for me. And I am aware of the fact that I am susceptible to these upbeat, light, summery bops. I enjoy that. But yeah, I'm slightly concerned for Romania. I'm neither saying that this is a definite qualifier or a definite non-qualifier. I definitely think it's in that borderline zone. They have got a good draw because in the second half, This could close the show because the closing the show song is pretty much always upbeat, so it has got the potential as well. If you're closing the show, your odds absolutely and utterly skyrocket. But yeah, let's have a look at the second half and see who else is upbeat. We currently have Czech Republic. Okay, that is upbeat and it is better, I'm afraid. We have Ireland, which is also upbeat, but kind of different enough. Irish song, I think, feels a little bit more modern. No, Montenegro. Yeah, okay, so, and then it depends who Sweden sends, but I think the Swedish song that's in contention that could challenge is Ljámame, but I don't think that Sweden are going to pick that. Obviously, if they pick that, Ljámame would very much look like a slicker version of something and a more modern version. So that would be negative, but I'm quite sure Ljámame won't win. And Belgium, we don't yet know what Jeremy's going to give yet. I have a feeling it's upbeat, but yes, that could also kind of chip into Romania as well. Romania are definitely not shy when it comes to staging. I think that they are able to go bold and bright. It hasn't worked for them recently. I think maybe Esther Pini's staging was possibly a little bit too melodramatic. I loved it. I thought it was really rich visually and it was kind of fantasy, but it obviously didn't work because she didn't qualify. So I don't know what Romania need to do, but they really need to think outside the box, and they need to be really strategic and just look at who else is in the semi. How do we stand out? How do we make sure that people remember us by the end of the show? They need to actually cater their staging to what's around them and be really strategic and sensible. Do they have that reputation for doing that? Maybe not. But I really want Romania to turn things. I do not want Romania to be in a 4 non-qualification streak. That is going to be very bad for them. And if they're having these kind of like emergency talks after 3 non-qualifications, if it gets into 4 non-qualifications, I don't even want the thought of the conversation of them possibly withdrawing to come up. I would hate if Romania left. I want them to turn their fortunes around and start getting strong like they used to be in the 90s, in the noughties. Is this the right step in the right direction? No, honestly, I don't think it is. I felt like last year's song, I feel like the songs the last 3 years were stronger, but I don't think this is terrible either. I'm going to download it, but like I said, I'll probably listen to it 10 times and then I think I might forget about it a little bit. Yeah, let's have a look and see how this is doing the odds. It's 37th out of 40, so it's only above Israel, North Macedonia and Slovenia, so that's not great. Let's look at the Eurovision app. Okay, actually this is not doing too bad. Okay, I think I just saw the wrong stuff online. This is 14th. That is a pretty decent score, actually. So people do enjoy this. Okay, it's not just me. I feel less guilty pleasure and more just pleasure now. Yeah, you always trust your instincts. There's 28 songs revealed and it's 14th, so it's right in the middle. So, okay, hopefully that does mean... Now, keep in mind, Eurovision scoreboard definitely skews in favor of bops, big time. I still think that backs up what I'm saying about this being a borderline qualifier, and they need to have an epiphany in what they're going to do in the staging and really pull a rabbit out of the hat with this. But I really wish them well. I want Romania to turn things around. Okay, so that's what I think about Llámame by WRS. Please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in another Eurovision reaction video very soon. Goodbye.